we've been discussing action, the law of attraction with taking action, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what did we come up with?
Well, I had always had this this question of, with the law of attraction, do you really just manifest, think of what you want, put it out there, let it go, and wait for it to come back? And certainly that has been very successful in my life. But there seems to be something when you're really wanting to get something like the bills paid or manifest something that you really, really need. A job or a house or this, a career. There, it's a little more challenging to do.
Yeah, it seems like if you want something specific, right? Like that gunshot approach where you just kind of put it out there and let it go is great for things that you don't have to have happen, or it's kind of like randomly come in, which is great too.
Yeah.
But it feels like there has to be some action that we take, right?
Yeah. Well, and truthfully, the things that come to us always come from some sort of action, right? And so that was always something I had this question about. And and there's this idea of inspired action. Inspired action brings you what you want. But we were talking about when you're in that rut of, being in a relationship that just isn't serving you, or being in a job that's not in alignment with your purpose, and you're just kind of in this rut and you can't get out, and the types of thoughts you're thinking aren't bringing you to your ultimate goal, So we were talking about this whole concept of conscious action, which is
having to take some kind of action to get you to a new vantage point so you can articulate further what you want. That sometimes you can't see all the possibilities until you take some action and you have a different viewpoint to see all that's possible, right?
Yeah, and so conscious action is very different than inspired action, whereas inspired action is what you want to do, what feels good, what feels right. But the problem is if you're in a rut, what feels good and what feels right is probably not going to be what's in alignment to get you what you want.
Conscious action probably involves facing something that you're afraid to do, right?
Absolutely. And doing something that you don't necessarily want to do.
Tim Ferriss, I was reading something where he was saying that the amount of success any person has is how many unpleasant conversations they're willing to have. Like whatever you're afraid of, you have to go do right now, right?
Yeah. And the way that works with the law of attraction is what that does is that jettisons you to this whole different vantage point, a whole different vibration, Because after so many conversations that you don't want to have, how many cold calls, uncomfortable calls that you have to do, what starts to happen, you start to get comfortable with it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want more sales, I know what to do. I want more money, I know what inspired action I need to take.
New vantage point,
new
right?
vantage point. Yeah.
So
cool. So that kind of comes in the lines of discipline, that discipline is, so.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's our thought. So let's all take some, a little bit of conscious action, doing something that maybe frightens us a little bit. I think that one of the other really great tips of the day would be get up in the morning and do the thing first that you want to do the least.
There you go.